30 days, 50 games and 114 goals. And with just one more game to go, it's crunch time in Germany, as we are just a few hours away from crowning the new European champions for 2024. 24 teams entered the tournament, all with the same ambition: to do their country proud. From Albania scoring the quickest goal ever in Euros history in just 23 seconds against holders Italy, or Georgia's remarkable feat to get to the knockout stages in their debut tournament. We have seen some incredible, spine-tingling special moments at this tournament. A fair share of youth have burst onto the scene, with young Real Madrid winger Arda Güler scoring a screamer in his debut game at the Euros, or Lamine Yamal becoming the youngest player to play at a Euros and the youngest player to score at a Euros or a World Cup at just 16, beating Pele's record. Young players have certainly played a massive role in knitting the 2024 Euros story together. Let's not forget as well another first in Euros history, Group E, the only group in the competition's history at which all four teams ended on the same points after 3 games, emphasising the competitive and close-knit nature of this competition, with Slovakia, Romania, Belgium and Ukraine all engraving their names into history. Shocks are also something that we have been well blessed at witnessing, with Slovakia's shock beating of Belgium on matchday 1 in Group E, or Romania's destruction whipping of Ukraine, to Georgia's sensational victory against Portugal to secure knockout football, or Austria's surprising victory against the Netherlands. Switzerland also had their taste of the action, beating holders Italy in the last 16, and Croatia's shock exit at the group phase. Whatever happens tonight, one thing about Euro 2024 is for certain: it has been one of the most entertaining and mesmerising tournaments that we have had the luck to witness. Let's have a look back at the very best bits. Very good evening and welcome to Euro 2024 live on LFS with me, Kevin Ferris. Over the next 30 days, join us as we go on a journey as 24 teams bid to become Europe's next champions. Wirtz! And it's in! Florian Wirtz, the master of Bundesliga football, gets the first goal of Euro 2024. Fabian Ruiz, what a goal! Oh, what a goal! Arda Güler, an absolute screamer. Where does that come from? The holders are behind inside a couple of seconds. You would not believe it. Oh, shot from distance. Oh, it's in. Wow. What a hit by Morten Hjulmand. My goodness me. Oh, it's not dealt with. It's in. That is a huge moment for Albania. They felt they were getting nothing out of this. They fought to the death, and they could have got their just rewards for it. Ivan Šranc gives Slovakia the lead. Not cleared away the overhead kick. It's in. Jude Bellingham has got possibly one of the biggest goals of the tournament for England. Harry Kane. It's in. They've completed the job. They've completed the comeback. Randall Colomowani popping up at the back post and giving France the early lead in Munich. Lamine Yamal to strike. Oh, what a goal! That is unbelievable from Lamine Yamal. Spins it around his man, and it's in. An own goal. Jules Koundé putting in the back of his own net, and Spain have turned this on its head. Oh, what a goal! That is a banger from Xavi Simons. Harry Kane sneaks it in the left corner. Beat the Dutch keeper, and England are back level. Here's Ollie Watkins. Oh! He snuck it in. Ollie Watkins, the striker that England need in the dying seconds on the blink of 90. Could see England into their second Euros final back to back. Wow, what a tournament we have witnessed. It has been absolutely incredible over the last 30 days to witness some mesmerising games of football. And we finish with what hopefully is one of the best, if not the best, of the tournament, as the three-time champions Spain take on the team that have never won this trophy in England. They got to the final in 2020, but were beaten on penalties. This is their first overseas final, and they're hoping that they can make it a 100% winning record in overseas finals. They have at home. There are only other two finals at home where they've had great success. That 1966 World Cup win, but they're hoping that 2024 is their year for the European Championships. Spain, well, they've won it. They won it back-to-back in 2008 and 2012, and they would love to do it again. And they would start a brand new era of football excellence for the country. Before we talk about the teams, let's look at how both teams got to this point. How did they get to this moment where they're both battling it out for the trophy? Well, Spain started the tournament. They topped Group B, winning all three of their group games. That's the only side to have topped their group with 9 points. They won 3-0 against Croatia on match day 1, beat Italy by a goal to 0 on match day 2, and the same scoreline got them through against Albania on match day 3, with a very changed side. They entered the knockouts with a round of 16 against the side who had never been in a Euros before this tournament. In Georgia, they beat them 4-1, but didn't have it all their own way after going behind. They made it a bit more difficult against Germany. They needed extra time to oversee the hosts in the quarter-final before beating France, the 2016 finalists and the two-time winners, in the semi-final to get to this stage. Spain, regarded as the best side that we've seen in the tournament, played the best football, and we've seen the very best from their players. But will we see the best from them tonight? You might need to. This is what finals bring, the pedigree of the best. And England might need to beat them if they're going to lift this trophy. Let's have a look at England then and see where they finished in their group and how they got to this stage. Well, they did top their group as well, so both sides winning their respective groups. But England, not as impressive in their group as Spain were, winning just one of their three group games. That was their first one by a goal to 0 against Serbia. They then drew 1-1 with Denmark on match day 2 before a 0-0 draw with Slovenia on match day 3, getting through top of the group on 5 points. But that group regarded as probably the boring group of the Euros. Denmark, Slovenia and Serbia alongside England in Group C. Well, England then got to the knockouts, and they didn't make easy work of those either. They needed extra time to beat Slovakia after being behind. They had to come back with a 95th minute equaliser to take it to extra time before Harry Kane scored the winner. They needed penalties against Switzerland, again coming from behind to level the game through Bukayo Saka before all 5 of their players scored all 5 penalties. And again, needed a bit of extra luck and a bit of late drama against the Netherlands, again coming from behind and winning inside 90 minutes. Ollie Watkins, the star man on the night in Dortmund. So both sides have had their trials and tribulations. They've had some tough runs, and they've both had to experience extra time. Both progressing. Extra time and penalties, of course, are needed. Will be needed tonight if we are level after 90 minutes to decide our winner. Will it be Spain or will it be England? We are just a few minutes away from finding out. But first, let's have a look at see how the teams line up then this evening. Let's start with Spain. They continue with Unai Simon in goal. Dani Carvajal, Robin Lenormand come back into the side after their respective suspensions. Aymeric Laporte and Marco Correa join them alongside that back four. Rodri and Fabian Ruiz continue in midfield with Pedri injured. Dani Olmo starts a bit further ahead of the midfield too for Spain with that amazing front three that we've seen of them all through the tournament. A 17-year-old now, Lamine Yamal, Nico Williams off the left and captain Alvaro Morata leading the line. For England, Jordan Pickford continues in goal, made that save in the shootout against Switzerland in the quarter-finals. The back three of Kyle Walker, John Stones and Mark Guehi unchanged from their win in the semi-final. And Bukayo Saka continues on right wing back alongside midfielders of Kobbie Mainoo and Declan Rice, who have stayed the same all the way through the knockout stages. with Luke Shaw making his first start in the England side at the tournament in the final. Kieran Trippier started all other games down that left-hand side, but Luke Shaw, back fit enough to start, is in the 11 tonight, with a front three of Phil Foden, Jude Bellingham and Harry Kane. Bellingham and Kane scoring 5 of England's 7 goals of this tournament so far. So, it's down to the point where we're minutes away from kick-off. We will have full recollection of the team news when we come back. Kick-off in the Euro 2024 final between Spain and England from Berlin is on the way next. Welcome back to Euro 2024 Live for the final from Berlin. Here are the two teams in conjunction with each other. Luis de la Fuente, as I said, continues with Unai Simon in goal. They start with Carvajal and Lenormand at left back and centre back, alongside Aymeric Laporte and Marco Correa. Rodri, Ruiz, Olmo are ahead of them, with Yamal, Williams and Morata up front. Pickford continues in goal. Walker, Stones and Gehi, the back three. Saka, Menu, Rice and Shaw, that 4 in midfield, with Foden, Bellingham and Harry Kane. 2 strikers who are the captains tonight. Right, we're ready and waiting for this game to get underway in Berlin. England, who probably played their best in the semi-final against the Spain side, who have been the best all the way throughout the tournament. But it's come down to this. Who will lift this trophy tonight? Who will be crowned European champions for 2024? Will it be Spain or will it be England? Thank you very much for joining us here on LFS this evening. I'm Kevin Ferris, your commentator all the way throughout the match, right until the very end of tonight's game, no matter what the outcome. We will be watching to see which of these two will lift it. Who will get the job done? Is it finally coming home for England, or will Spain lift this trophy for a record-breaking 4th time, something that no team, no country has ever done in Euros history? We're about to find out as the teams are in their huddles, ready to go. Teams are ready. We're ready. Down to the whistle now, which will be blown by Francois Letessier, our referee this evening from France. France, who were beaten in the semi-final by Spain. And Netherlands coming ever so close in the opposing semi-final against England. But heartache and pain for those two countries, but dreamlike state for these two in this final, Spain and England. Anticipation is surely the watchword tonight. Spain, of course, in red, their home strip. England in their home strip of all white. Red v white in the final, and only one can be victorious. Don't forget to like, subscribe and turn on post notifications if you haven't done so already, and do follow us on socials on X, Instagram and TikTok. All the links and handles you need are in the live video description. It will be England that will get us going as the countdown is on in Berlin. We're underway in the Euro 2024 final. 90 minutes at least separate us from finding out our winner. And it's down from 24 to just 2. Spain, as I said, regarded as one of the best sides in the tournament, the best performers of the tournament. England, not so. have gradually found their way into this tournament over the last 6 games. But it's about peaking at the right time. And it's about not about how you start a tournament, it's about how you finish. And so far, England have probably epitomised that in their games. Going behind 3 times in their knockouts, but progressing from all 3. That is the definition of resilience and comeback ability. Spain starting to try and get some early possession. As the ball comes all the way back to Robin Lenormand, who of course was suspended for the semi-final against France after receiving an accumulation of yellow cards in the quarter-final against Germany. Dani Carvajal against Germany got a second yellow, which eliminated him from the semi-final. Here is Aymeric Laporte. Switch ball out to Yamal, but Shaw in the way to win it back for England. Rice, Bellingham, and Shaw, that balance on the left-hand side that maybe England have been crying out for all the way throughout the tournament, as he's dispossessed there by Dani Carvajal. Surely that will help England tonight, that balance on the left-hand side with Luke Shaw being in that position, his natural role of a left-sided player, something that Kieran Trippier has tried his best at, but it's just not been the same for England in this tournament down that left-hand side. That imbalance is certainly well watched. Well, one thing about these two managers, I was looking at the stats a bit earlier on and gathering my details for this final, and I saw some very interesting stats. Both good omens for the managers involved. For Gareth Southgate, he is only the 3rd manager in Euros history to manage more than 1 final, and both previous have ended up winning one of those finals at the very least. No manager has ever managed 2 in a Euros and lost them both. And for Luis de la Fuente, well, only 2 managers in Euros history have been older than Luis de la Fuente in a final, taking hold of a final team, and both previously winning. So some good omens for either manager here this evening, but they'll not be worrying about omens, they'll be worrying about how their sides play on the field and how they end up with this and trying to lift this trophy. As Laporte goes up for the header, brings it down to Lenormand. Aymeric Laporte to Rodri, who will be a key component in Spain's attacking play and their possession play this evening. Here's Yamal, closely marked again by Shaw as Carvajal tries to go on the overlap, but Spain do the good work just about to keep the ball from a pressing England side. I have to say, the Spanish are outnumbered in Berlin this evening. A mass exodus of English fans flying out ahead of this final. Here's Olmo, looking to lift it into the box. An early cross. Stones deals with it, heads it away. Williams to pick it up on the left-hand side again, though, for Spain. Keeps the attack going, spins one in, and Stones there has to kick it away for the corner. Decent work from Spain. Nice ball initially from the right-hand side. They don't kind of get the most out of it. John Stones clears initially, and then they keep it alive with Nico Williams down that left, whips it back in, maybe a bit low, and John Stones boots it out behind for the corner, taking no risks, the England number 5. And Spain get the first corner of the game. Williams, who won it, will take it, lifts it in, as the ball's headed away by Bellingham. Foden tries to flick it clear. Cucurella heads it back the way it came. Foden brings it down now as Saka. Tries to go down the right-hand side to find a bit of space, but runs out of room. And Fabian Ruiz will pick back up for Spain. Alan says in the chat, we're too nervous to type. Fascinating. 5 minutes gone. Spain have had the better of the early possession. Here's Williams. Nice ball looking for the overlapping Cucurella down the left. Back to Ruiz. Nice bit of zip about the Spanish passing so far. Ruiz back to Aymeric Laporte. Ruiz again. Ruiz, who's been another kind of surprising player in terms of how good their performances of his performances have been in the tournament so far. He's been a real revelation in that midfield. We know the quality that he has, but to show it on the stage that he is, it's quite remarkable. I mean, that goal against Croatia still comes back to mind when he doubled at Spain's lead in that one. The quality of that finish and the build-up, the approach play that they tap, one-touch football. It's incredible. Laporte. Cucurella down the line to Williams. Closely watched by Walker. Williams not allowed much room to go forward there as he has to come back all the way round. Laporte. Now Lenormand. Yamal. Back to Robin Lenormand. Carvajal to Yamal again. Spain passing it around, waiting for their opportunity. We saw them play this type of football against Italy, for example, where they did control the game. They commanded the possession and commanded the shots in that game, to be honest. They were all over Italy, despite the kind of the scoreline ultimately only being 1-0. It was quite telling in that front. Trying to combine there was Ruiz and Williams, and they're trying to get it in the box. Again, Declan Rice tracking it all the way back. And Ruiz there battling back. Will go for an England throw. That's good work from Declan Rice. Stayed aware. Said about the zip and the pace of the Spanish passing. If you're not on it, if you're not alert in those moments, you can be caught out. Luckily for England, though, Declan Rice was alert. Got to it and wins England the throw down the right hand side. Walker to take. Has to go down the line, finding Harry Kane. Lenormand there to head it back forward for Spain. Ruiz, nice turn from Olmo. Back it comes to Carvajal. Spain looked controlled in that position as Morata and Olmo try and link up. Well closed down again by Saka, but the ball goes out of play for a Spain throw again. Every time Spain or England try and carve a quick break, there's just not there at the moment. It's not clicking in those moments. You can see they're trying to break on Spain quickly. A point that we'd made and that I'd made previously for teams that play against Spain. Break quickly. As Rice intercepts a poor pass from Ruiz, but Ruiz makes up for it and blocks Rice's pass. England throw. Characteristic poor pass there from Fabian Ruiz. Goes unpunished ultimately. As I was saying, the point previously made about how teams need to break quickly, how Spain look sometimes vulnerable in transition. When you do break on them at the right moment, when they've committed too many bodies forward, and you break their press, they can be found out, they can be exploited up the other end, but they're not going to take major risks in this game, Spain. We know they won't. They're very experienced, but also with that experience that I've previously mentioned, they have that youthful exuberance, that freedom of the youth players in the side as Carvajal heads the England ball clear. So an England player down on the floor now. The referee's going to give England the free kick here. There's Rodri on Jude Bellingham. Yeah, he just nips in on Bellingham there. And England get the decent first free kick. Just under 10 minutes gone. There's a sea of white around this stadium. A little patch of red to support Spain, but I said those Spanish fans were definitely outnumbered. Players will not worry about that. Shaw to take this free kick. Left-footed, whipped across. Stones to head it down in the box, but the whistle had already gone, and the free kick was already given to Spain. Mark Gehi committing a foul on Aymeric Laporte. It's a bit soft. Well, Spain have won their last 3 major tournament finals, winning the Euros in 2008 and in 2012, and of course the World Cup in 2010, on that run of 3 successive titles. 1 World Cup and 2 Euros. No European side, however, has won 4 successive World Cup / Euros final matches before. Spain, if they are to win tonight, would be the first in history to do so. Cucurella. Ruiz. Nice ball, fed down the line. Here's Nico Williams. He's got bodies in the box, and Yamal and Morata. Williams wants to go himself and tracked all the way by Jordan Stones. And it goes out for a Spain corner. Really good footwork by Nico Williams, but tracked all the way by John Stones, and he stuck out a right leg, the England centre-back, and got it behind for another Spain corner. That's a battle that might continue right through the night, that one, between Stones and Williams. It's an issue here for England. It's a player down. Trying to get a glimpse as to who it is. It's Kyle Walker. And he looks in pain. As we're doing a bit of celeb spotting there. I mean, Walker tried to cut across to block the pass from Ruiz, but in the process slid right into Luis de la Fuente, the Spanish head coach there. And Walker is back to his feet. He's not particularly looking comfortable as he jogs back into the box, but he will continue. Williams to take this corner. Right-footed delivery. A lot of whip on it. Back post. Headed back by Rodri. Flicked on, but flicked wide by Robin Lenormand. Really good delivery by Williams. Back post. Kept alive. The header at the back post was fabulous from Rodri, leaping. And Lenormand just stretching back to reach the ball. Doesn't gather it with accuracy, and it ends up going wide. Again, another decent threat from a set piece there for Spain. As Kieran Trippier's warming up for England. Of course, Trippier, who started all of his games in the Euros at left wing back, or left back, through the tournament, but could be coming on if Kyle Walker is unable to continue. Of course, we'll keep an eye on that situation as the game progresses. Lenormand. So far it is Spain that have had dominant possession, but at the moment just one shot in the game. But we're expecting this kind of tentative moment where we're not going to go gung-ho just yet. That's a nice ball by Laporte. Down to Nico Williams, who seems to be the outball for Spain at the moment. Swings one in. Just cleared away by Menu. And ends up finding Bellingham, who's trying to charge down the left-hand side for England. Blocked by Lamine Yamal. Will be an England throw. Look at that from the player who turned 17 yesterday, Lamine Yamal. Involved, sliding in there to block that one. Fabulous skill initially from Nico Williams to swing that one in. Curling cross, fabulous, but ultimately cleared away by England. But those two players, Williams and Yamal, they've been major talents for Spain the whole way through this tournament. They've been absolutely fabulous to watch. Had some big moments. That's a nice turn from Bellingham. England with a chance here. Here's Saka. Feeds it down the line. Walker on the overlap. Walker with a cutback. And blocked behind by Aymeric Laporte for an England corner. This is to be said that Spain had dominated the possession. England spring break down that left-hand side. Bellingham spinning on the ball, getting Saka into the play. Saka breaks down the right-hand side. As he's arriving into the box, Kyle Walker overlaps, gives that ball to Walker, cuts it back into the box, and blocked behind by Aymeric Laporte for the corner. Nice combinations from England there. First set piece for England for the corner. Foden to deliver. Low one across, cleared away pretty easily there. I think that was Morata. And England will recover possession. Walker back to Luke Shaw. That was a bit of positive play from England, getting them up the field and kind of relieving that early pressure that they'd had to come under against Spain. Stones, heavy touch by Foden, but he makes it work. Mainu, back to John Stones. He's under pressure from Williams and swings it back to his keeper, Jordan Pickford, who does bring it under control. Would have been a nervy one there. John Stones brought that back to his keeper with some pace. Shaw looking to switch the ball out. Lovely switch ball. Finds Saka, who can break forward for England again. Looks to take on Cucurella. Chops back. Saka lays it to the edge of the box. Rice to strike, blocked by Rodri. Kept alive by Bellingham. Good pressure from England. Shaw looking to cross it in. Takes a deflection. And Cucurella to clear. Good pressure there from England. Sustaining the possession well as they have it back now. Spain unable to break out there. Stones darting it down the right hand side again. Saka on the ball up against Cucurella. Williams is there too. Saka looking to cut inside. Chips it across. Lovely touch from Foden. Blocked again by Rodri, who clears. And now Spain look to break out. Yamal. His pass blocked off well by Shaw. Spain throw. That was a good moment from England. Will certainly give them confidence. That little spell of possession, that little moment or two of dominance. They had Spain pegged back. But, you know, both sides will know coming into this one, they're not going to have it all their own way. They're going to have to suffer at moments and at times in this game. And it's about who deals with that the better. Who takes it in their stride. Laporte to Lenormand. Back to Emerick Laporte. Threads it through nicely. Danny Olmo to take it. Looking to play it across to Morata, just a bit underhinged. And Yamal there trying to pick up the loose ends. Ultimately, Shaw clears. Will be a Spain throw. Shaw taking no risks there. Taking no liberties. Lamine Yamal was on his toes. Shaw there just ahead of him. Ruiz. Cucurella back to Ruiz. Now Olmo. Bit of space to swing it out to the right for Carvajal. Carvajal to lift it into the box and too high ahead of Morata and comfortably into the hands of Jordan Pickford in the England goal. Comfortable there from Pickford. Of course, Jordan Pickford, who is probably ultimately never let England down on the international stage. Always come up clutch for his country as Shaw tried to gather that one down the left. Just rolled out of play from Jude Bellingham. But Jordan Pickford just never letting his side down. Here's Olmo. Ruiz. Now to Nico Williams on that left-hand side again, closely followed by Kyle Walker. Has to go back to Cucurella. And now Rodri. Into the space here for Yamal, who's dropped off a bit. Looking to pick up the pocket. Olmo. Seen no way through a sea of white ahead of him. Williams, back out on the left, has to go back to Cucurella. 20 minutes gone in the Euro final. England and Spain, nothing between them. Snap says Pickford before pens, waiting to get a drink. Doesn't drink, but looks at the player's shot. Indeed. As of course, all the penalty takers, what way to dive on his bottle. He might need that tonight. Jordan Pickford, we'll see whether he will involve his water bottle in the tactics tonight. Here's Rodri. Down the line again to Nico Williams. Good response from Spain after that little spell from England. Spain back on the front foot. Williams swings it through the middle. Ruiz in between the tight spaces, tried to feed Olmo. Well closed down by England, and Foden carries away. Saka. Back to Phil Foden under pressure from Cucurella. Premier League opponents, of course. Marc Cucurella of Chelsea and Phil Foden of Manchester City. And Foden coming out the better, getting England the free kick there. Well, of course, this is England's first ever major tournament final on foreign soil. Both the 1966 World Cup final and the 2020 Euros final played at Wembley on home turf for England. So a first experience of not having that first-hand home support to try and help them over the line. Although it will feel like they've got a lot of home support inside this stadium, as I said, with that overhaul of English fans inside the Olympiastadion. Stones to win the header. Back from Lenormand. Rice to win the next header. Now Laporte, bit of head tennis. Lovely tick down from Williams, and the skill from Morata just runs out of room there. Stones doing his work to break that one apart. Spain will get the throw in out of the situation though, but Morata there trying to use his skill. We've not seen very much of either centre forward or either captain in the early moments. In the first half of the first half. 22 and a half gone. Alvaro Morata and Harry Kane have had minimal part, although Morata's just headed a ball into Williams' path there. That ball not accurate enough. Picked up by Carvajal, laid off by Yamal, now down the right hand side. Looking to lift it into the box, Yamal. Again, too close and too easy for Jordan Pickford, who gathered comfortably. Well, the Spanish press winning it back. Olmo, now Yamal in the box. Lamine Yamal. Shot takes a deflection, will be a corner. Mark Guehi in the way that time. See it, Foden just pressed by Rodri, his club teammate. Given away, Olmo picks it up, finds Yamal on the right hand side and goes to the corner. Taken short, ball whipped in, cleared away by England. And now they're trying to counter here with Bukayo Saka, who was brought down. And I think he's given the free kick. Gani Carvajal's telling him to cry. Doing the little crying gesture there. I mean, there's not much in that on Saka, to be honest. Might be a bit soft. Gani Carvajal certainly didn't feel that it was a foul. That's why he did the little crying gesture. Long free kick forward for England. Saka was the target. Well blocked out by Cucurella, and Williams in a tussle with Mainu. Mainu coming out on top. Harry Kane. Now to lift it down the left hand side. Shaw gets a break of the ball past Carvajal. Shaw in the box. Spin on the ball was Bellingham. Cleared away by Cucurella. Strong defending from Spain, but ultimately for a moment there it looked like England had the overload in the box. As Morata goes to ground and England win it back. Saka now. Morata trying to battle back. Cucurella in the way. Mainu now to Harry Kane. Scrambling to get to the ball as it goes all the way through to Unai Simon. Although the referee's going to give a free kick here to Spain and give Harry Kane a yellow card. I didn't see what had happened, but the referee had his card out pretty swiftly there. See it again, just a collision. Oh, yeah, it went sliding in on Fabian Ruiz there. He tried to stretch for the ball, as I said, and then the ball bouncing away. It just caught the foot of Fabian Ruiz there. But a moment ago, Luke Shaw, nice work wide. Ball drifted wide to Shaw. Gets the brick of the ball. Carvajal committed himself. The ball found its way through to Shaw in the box. Kept the attack alive. Tried to lift it forward for Bellingham. Tried to turn onto the ball and Cucurella cleared it. But another good moment for a moment there. Just for a slight second it looked like England might have had the extra bit, the extra body, the extra pressure. And that man overload in the box. But Spain getting away. Getting clear of danger once again. As Ruiz was receiving a bit of treatment there. He is up and okay. Harry Kane in the book for that challenge. First yellow card of the final. And there were just a few players getting some fluids on the sideline while we did have that break in play. We are back. Up and running again. Ruiz back on the field of play. Here's Aymeric Laporte. Carry Spain up the field again. Over the halfway line he goes. Out of Cucurella. Williams. Again, taking his time. Morata to chest the ball down and switch it out to the right hand side. But Bellingham closely pressuring Carvajal. Who wins the header, Carvajal. And Yamal wins the throw in off Luke Shaw. Not a second to breathe. As Spain take the throw in quickly and go all the way back to Unai Simon. He's probably been the least said name of the night so far. Both goalkeepers haven't had much to contest in the early moments. Unai Simon probably the lesser of the two, with Pickford picking up a few early crosses. Here's a nice chance for Spain down the left. Cucurella now back to Williams. Morata facing away from goal, gives it to Ruiz. Nice build up here from Spain. Yamal, Ruiz. Kind of darted out, the ball's deflected and he has to hook it away. Rodri, picking up the loose ball. Keeping the pressure on. Carvajal. Now Ruiz to carry it forward. Ruiz into the box. The shot comes off the foot of Guehi and into his goalkeeper's hands of Jordan Pickford. Every time someone comes forward, you think there's going to be something in it. Patrick, welcome into the chat. Thank you very much for joining us. Of course, we'll have a lot of celeb spotting in the crowd tonight. I think I saw Gareth Bale a bit earlier on. Robbie Keane as well. A bit earlier on in the crowd. Of course, former Wales and former Republic of Ireland players. I would take a wild guess at who they're backing tonight. And I can tell you it's certainly not England. But there we are. Walker to Mainu. To Kyle Walker now. John Stones. Okay, back again to Pickford. Wants to go long, Pickford. The run being made by Bellingham. Was battling with Lenormand. Won the header, Bellingham. Gets the break of the ball down the left. And Carvajal just about doing enough there to see Bellingham out of trouble. Of course, club teammates there as well. Danny Carvajal and Jude Bellingham. Of course, Carvajal no more of Real Madrid, obviously. But Jude Bellingham and Carvajal playing with each other last season in their triumph in the Champions League, which is another interesting stat tonight about players. We'll get to that in a moment as England try and break the ball, and again Carvajal just sees it back to Simon, who goes long, intercepted by Stones. Now to Rice. Bellingham on the spin. Kane dropping a bit deeper, trying to get his other teammates involved, but ultimately the ball goes right through to Unai Simon. One stat that I was talking about, interestingly, Real Madrid, for Spain tonight, Real Madrid's Carvajal, Nacho and Joselu could join a list of players who have won the Euros and the Champions League in the same summer. Jude Bellingham would also join that list if England were to win tonight. So interesting that there's a list of players out there that have won Europe's biggest club competition and Europe's biggest international competition in the same summer. It's not often that comes around, not often many players get the chance to do that, but certainly quite a number that can do that tonight. As Danny Olmo's booked here for a certain reason. Trying to figure out what for, but Olmo has been booked by the referee. I think the referee Just trying to set out his stall and say, having none of that tonight. Oh, just saw that again. Dani Olmo literally studs right into the kind of hip of Declan Rice there. I mean, he was stretching for the ball, but that's dangerous. Has to watch himself there, Olmo. Got a yellow card for that one. So 1 card apiece. 1 for England, 1 for Spain. Dani Olmo and Harry Kane, the 2 that were booked. First 30 minutes or so. And Declan Rice just receiving a bit of treatment at the moment. Is back to his feet. Let's get another glimpse of another English player warming up there. Joe Gomez, the Liverpool defender. Hasn't played a single minute in the tournament so far, Gomez. Don't know why we got a shot of him, but we did. So are you saying Jude can join the Cool Kids Club? Well, you would be in an exclusive list of players. There's more England players warming up. They're just all warming up. There's nothing too significant to it. But yes, an exclusive list of players. Bellingham looking to skip his way past. He does hold on to the ball there after stretching on the floor, and ultimately he will get the free kick here. The referee's just pulled this back. It was giving the advantage for England there. Bellingham winning the free kick ultimately. Rodri a bit bemused by that decision, but that's the referee's conclusion out of that. Here's Shaw. Trying to break forward for England, but again well closed down by Carvajal. Rodri, now Ruiz, not the best of touches, but ultimately avoiding the trouble. And the press of Phil Foden there, who's on the floor at the moment. Physical this game the last few minutes. It's got a bit stop-start. Kind of lost the rhythm slightly in the game. Quite a number of collisions. Let's quickly give you an update on the stats in the game. Spain around about 70% of the possession so far, so still dominating that front. They've had 4 shots, England just the 1 shot in the early moments of this game. In terms of XG, I mean, Spain not creating major goal-scoring opportunities. 0.22 XG, 0.03 from England. A couple of corners each. There's not really much significance to this game, to the early stats so far, other than that Spain have the only shot on target of the game. Just 1 shot on target so far. Here's Rodri. Laporte. Now Rodri. To Ruiz. Out to the right-hand side. Comes Carvajal. Now Yamal, who's stayed a bit further on the right. Wants to take on Shaw. Beats him for pace, and Shaw just nips a left boot in just in time. Puts it out for the corner. Great pace from Lamine Yamal there. Maybe just showed a bit too much of the ball to Luke Shaw there to try and recover it. And Shaw stretched across well to clear it out. Will be a corner then for Spain on the right hand side. We've seen Yamal very central in the early first 30 minutes or so. That was the first time we've really seen him break down the right flank. As the ball's whipped in by Williams. Morata. Body's in the box there for Spain, and I think it will be another corner. There's a bit of holding and grasping in the box there. Just see this again. Ball whipped in. I think it's Laporte that's ended up on the floor. Rice with a challenge. I mean, 6 of one, half dozen of the other, really. Lenormand was the one stretching, so both centre-backs involved there for Spain. Lenormand was stretching over Shaw, just couldn't reach the ball, but we'll go for another Spain corner. They'll get another chance at it. Left-hand side this time. Lenormand certainly a target in there for La Roja. Referee having to sort out 1 or 2 tussles in there for the moment. Williams takes the corner short, finds Yamal. Back to the edge of the box. Here's Olmo's got time and space. The shot pretty tame in the end. It's Harry Kane in the way. Tries to get England forward with Mainu. Nice touch. Couldn't get it past Dani Olmo, who recovers for Spain and spins. Forward to Morata. Now Rodri. It was good work from Olmo. Took the shot, bit wasteful in the end, but got back, won the ball back and kept his side on the ball. It's exactly the type of ambition and passion and desire from a forward that they always get those runs, make those runs back defensively to help out the team, especially from set pieces and corners when you do have a lot more bodies committed forward. Here's Yamal. Ruiz now. Cucurella. Now down the left is Williams. Nico Williams up against Walker again. Chops inside, right footed cross. Curling in, but no one targeting that one. No one near it. As Williams' cross is seen out for a goal kick. Seeing that shot from Olmo. He tried to rocket it. But Harry Kane seen it coming. I think Morata might have got in the way of it anyway if Harry Kane hadn't have. Ultimately it comes to nothing. And it came to nothing. We have a poll in the chat. Of course, you can predict what the poll is. Who wins Euro 2024? That poll's been running for a long time now, since around 4 o'clock this afternoon. Keep your votes coming in if you haven't already voted. I'd greatly appreciate it. And we appreciate each and every one of you who is watching this evening. At the moment, 67% of the chat who have voted in the poll are predicting that Spain will win the Euros. 33% predicting that England will lift the trophy. Rodri carries it forward for Spain. Out to the right-hand side for Yamal. Now Williams, who switched out onto that right. Guehi to track him as Williams has to go back to Carvajal. Cross now to Laporte. Spain starting to pen England in a bit more now. Rodri. Down the right-hand side comes Williams again. Nice takedown from Rodri's ball. Williams looking to tiptoe his way into the box. Finds Yamal. Can't find a way through. Spain just about recover the ball. The referee got a touch on it, but Spain get it recovered. And whip the early cross and blocked. Cleared away. Carvajal. Good pressure from Spain this. Here's Yamal again. Left-footed. Blocked away by Shaw this time as Bellingham tries to weave his way past a couple. Ends up on the floor, but the referee says play on as Ruiz won it back fairly. Laporte. Now Ruiz again. Going to lift one in deep, but again, too deep. Not an accurate cross that time, and Morata looking a bit frustrated at those crosses and those deliveries, not accurate as what they could be. And again, another one gone begging for Spain there. Well, Spain have scored 13 goals in the tournament. Only France in 1984, when they won the tournament, have scored more in Euros history in a single edition at 14 goals. So Spain scored 2 goals. They will break another record tonight with the most goals in a single edition of a Euros tournament. That's all circumstantial for the moment. Laporte to recover from Pickford's long clearance. Cucurella. Down the line it goes to Williams, who tried to wriggle his way past Walker, but Walker staunchly in the way. Rice. Now Foden to carry the ball forward. Space ahead of him. Now finds Saka. Back to Walker. Stones. To Walker again. Now Mainu. Kyle Walker. England not in a hurry. Here's John Stones. Nice to break away from that Spanish press, and he's still going here, John Stones. Still riding the ball forward. Well closed down eventually by Spain. But he broke free there for a moment, Stones, and now England could be worrying at the other end. Williams to Yamal. Shaw well covered as England get bodies back. Williams now on the ball again. To Lamine Yamal. England denying Spain that breakaway on the counter. And they got bodies back quite quickly. And into shape again. 40 minutes gone in the Euro 2024 final in Berlin. It is Spain 0, England 0 after, as I said, 40 minutes. So just 5 minutes of the first half to go, plus the additional time. Will there be a breakthrough before half-time? Nico Williams. Carvajal. Again, tried to break past Bellingham. Well closed down, but Spain will get the throw in. Here's Yamal. Slightly heavy touch in the pass, not the best. Spain helped out there by Carvajal to keep the possession, although that's a poor pass by Rodri, nicked away by Rice. Now Kane, down the left to Bellingham. Again trying to return it to Harry Kane. Bellingham battling back again as Kane was closed down. As Harry Kane now swings it out to Saka on the right hand side. Nicely taken down. Walker bursting forward, but Saka doesn't take the option. Mainu trying to lift it into the box, but well closed down by Lenormand. And now Williams for Spain. It's quite end-to-end in moments. When they get going, both sides really turn it up. It doesn't last very long. Then we're back to the calm possession. It's bursts into life for a 20-second spell every few minutes. See Yamal there, a bit of a wayward pass to Danny Carvajal. Go for an England throw. All that matters tonight, whether it's playing the best football, being at your very best, that's not important. It's about getting over the line, doing the job, and getting your hands on that trophy. That is the aim, the target, the ultimate goal of these players tonight. They've been battling their way through their last 6 games to try and find it. Lovely thread of ball to Morata. Tries to get the brick of the ball, and Guehi just about held him off. And Stones had to put it behind for the corner. That was a lovely fed ball from Laporte to find Morata. He dragged Guehi all the way with him. Guehi blocking him off just enough to allow John Stones to stride in, and ended up the ball comes off Stones last and gives Spain the corner. And now another set piece for Spain to deliver. They're 6th corner of the game. Williams to deliver, low, right-footed, flicked away by Walker at the front post. It's alive with Mainu on the left-hand side near the other corner flag as Ruiz there trying to battle, and well held by Mainu. Goes for a goal kick to England. Again, another talk about the youth of Spain, Nico Williams, Lamine Yamal, etc, etc. But Kobbie Mainu, he burst onto the scene for Manchester United last season at just 18 at that time. It's 19 now. And played one of the games of his life in the FA Cup final, getting a ultimate second goal that turned out to be the crucial winner for Manchester United in that FA Cup final. His rise to stardom has been swift, to say the very least, and he's taking everything in his stride. Credit to Kobbie Mainu. As Carvajal, pressured by Bellingham, nicked off the ball. Here's Harry Kane. Blocked. Good from Spain to get bodies in the way as Williams tries to battle back and thrown to the floor there. I think that was Kyle Walker. Trying to see again. It was Walker that was kind of nudged to the floor by Williams, but the pace they were at, it flung Walker sliding up the pitch a bit there. A bit wasteful from Carvajal initially. Pressure from Bellingham made himself known, and Bellingham winning the ball. Carvajal left in a heap on the floor, and the cut back to Harry Kane to the edge of the box, almost breaking through, but Spain flooding all the bodies in the way. And England now have a free kick with just mere seconds of the first 45 to go. Aymeric Laporte is in a bit of pain here on the floor, so we might have a bit of a delay to this free kick being taken. Don't forget the details about our new season on LFS. One season comes to an end, another one on the horizon. The 2024-25 season. More details, you can find them out tomorrow at 9 o'clock on the channel. We're about to find out how long we'll be having it add on to the end of this first half, and it will be 2 added minutes. So 2 minutes of the first half remaining, and England ready to take this free kick then. Luke Shaw and Declan Rice over it. Bit of tussling going on as Spain set up their line at the edge of their 18-yard box here. Rice, right-footed delivery, deep. Flicked onto the back post, and the shot is into the hands of Unai Simon from Phil Foden. Threatening delivery by Rice. It's flicked on by Lenormand. Tried to get up to clear the ball. Ends up flicking it across to Foden, who stretched for it with his left. Always covered by the Spanish keeper, but a threatening moment there in front of goal for the Manchester City man, Phil Foden. As Yamal was on the chase there. Phil Foden, who ended the league season with an absolute barnstormer of form. 5 goals in his last 5 Premier League games of the 23-24 season. Phil Foden, the definition of stepping up when needed to carry his team, Manchester City, to a 4th successive Premier League title. He would love to do the same tonight for his country, to help them over the line, and he had a very good chance there at the back post. Don't forget, at half-time we'll analyse the first half. We'll talk about what we can expect for the second half, and plus we've a couple of bits of analysis as well to do. Run you through. Don't want to miss that. That's coming up right in a few moments' time here. As there is the half-time whistle. 2 minutes of the first half added time up, and the first half comes to a close, and no damage done to either defence after 47 minutes. Spain have certainly had the better of the possession so far, but both sides battling well in the first half of the Euro 2024 final in Berlin. Half-time at the Olympiastadion. It is Spain 0, England 0. Analysis on the way next. Welcome back to Euro 2024 Live, the final from Berlin. We're at half-time. It is Spain 0, England 0 in this Euro 2024 final at the moment. No damage done, as I said, to either defence at half-time. But certainly a lot to talk about from that first half. No goals, but of course a lot of action to really get our teeth into at the break. At this moment in time, of course, very interesting start, I'd have to say. It was quite tentative in moments in the first 15-20 minutes, where we kind of saw Spain have that vast amount of possession, where they were completely dominant, completely in control of the game, and how England were just holding off, setting off, allowing them to have that possession and not really kind of combating them very much. In that moment, they were staying in their shape, they were staying strong and staying solid, England, and not giving too much away. Ultimately, in those first minutes, we'd really seen very little of either Foden or Bellingham or Harry Kane even in those first minutes from England, and you could tell that they weren't thinking about attack first in those moments. They were just letting themselves settle into the final, not rushing things, because of course they scored within a couple of minutes of the Euro 2020 final, and ultimately had that to hold on to and sat very deep against Italy and ended up giving away that result. But I think maybe a bit of experience there from England not to go too gung-ho too early and get caught out ultimately in the long game, just to relax into the game, settle themselves and kind of slowly grow into it. And we saw that in the first half. Yes, they had minimal moments, I'd have to say. England probably little spurts of attacking play. Spain overall dominant, overall in control of the game, and I have to say Spain have probably looked the more progressive of the two. I don't think anybody would have an argument with that. But at the moment, it's 0-0. So neither side really getting the massive benefit out of, in terms of goal scoring wise, out of their system so far. But luckily, we have another half at least to go. So we're certain that this game will open up. We saw very little in the first halves of both of their quarterfinals previously. With both of these two teams' quarterfinals at 0-0 at half-time. Their semi-finals a very different case, ultimately, but that doesn't matter. Spain actually and England both came from behind in their semi-finals to go on to win, so that will be another aspect that if they do go behind or they do concede early, they'll both not panic, but that is all, as I said, circumstantial at the moment. Talking about finals, let's just run through their pedigree in finals, these two, because this is an interesting one. Spain have played in 4 previous European Championship finals. They've won 3 and lost just 1. They won their very first ever in 1964 when they beat the Soviet Union by 2-1 in Madrid on their home turf. That time round, they lost their second final in 1984 to France in Paris, so the hosts winning there as well. France winning 2-0 on that occasion. In 2008 then, of course, so that long drought without a European title, Spain, a total of 44 years when they won 1-0 against Germany in Vienna in 2008 before going back-to-back with a monumental 4-0 win against Italy in Kiev in 2012 to retain the trophy, the only side in Euros history to retain the trophy, as was my next stat there. Spain are the only team to retain the trophy with triumphs in 2008 and 2012. Their defeat, a 4-0 defeat of Italy in the 2012 finals, the biggest margin of victory in a Euros final. And this is their 5th final appearance, taking them ahead of Italy and Soviet Union on 4 finals each, and just behind Germany, who have been in 6 Euros finals. In terms of England in the finals, they've only been in 1 previous European Championship final, of course, in 2020, which they lost on penalties to Italy after a 1-1 draw inside 120 minutes. They lost 3-2 on penalties, England, at Wembley. The Three Lions, England, are aiming to be the 11th team to win the European Championship. England are only the 4th country to reach successive Euros finals after Germany/West Germany, who done it 72, 76 and 80, and Germany then in 1992 and 96, the Soviet Union in 1960 and 1964, and Spain themselves in 2008 and 2012. Spain only the 4th country in history to reach successive Euros finals. Of those, West Germany in 1980 and Germany in 1996 both lifted the trophy, having lost the decider 4 years earlier. So that is another good omen that possibly could go England's way tonight. If the 2 teams previously who have went to back-to-back finals, having lost 4 years earlier, went on to lift the trophy that time round. However, no side, as I said in that first half, has ever lost successive Euros finals. Only Yugoslavia in 1960 and 1968 have finished runners-up more than once without lifting the trophy, of course. And obviously a total of 24 players have appeared in 2 Euros finals. A list that Jordan Pickford, Kyle Walker, John Stones, Luke Shaw, Declan Rice, Harry Kane and Bukayo Saka all join in that list tonight. Kieran Trippier as well could join that list if he is to make an appearance this evening. And as I said a bit earlier on, Jude Bellingham, as well as his Madrid teammates in Carvajal, Nacho and Joselu, will be the players who will join that exclusive list of winning the Euros and the Champions League in the same summer. So, final pedigrees out of the way. England have only lost their previous final. And Spain won 3 of their 4 previous finals, including those back-to-back in 2008 and 2012. They'll be hoping to rekindle that kind of spirit of those times when they won 3 major tournament finals in a row. Spain, 2008, 2010 and 2012. Of course, that golden generation, as we talk about, with big countries and those spells of dominance on the international stage. But Spain will be hoping that they can conjure up a new kind of golden era of Spanish football. We've seen Spanish football kind of peter away over the last few years when we saw the exodus of Messi and Ronaldo from La Liga. Over the last few years, we've seen kind of that downturn in Spanish football. I mean, Real Madrid, the eternal heroes on European football levels. But Spanish football could be a new dawn. English football has been involved in European finals quite a lot at club level over the last few years, and maybe that is showing itself at international level, having England got to two finals in a row. They got to the quarterfinals of the World Cup in 2022, the semi-finals in 2018. So recent tournaments, England have certainly got to the very latter stages, at least the last 8 in all of their last 4 major tournament finals. So they have been very heavily involved in that front, England's. Ultimately. But at half-time, I would say now this side will be worried, now this side will be panicked, now this side will kind of take too much into looking at that first half. They will take it, they will kind of accept it and go, look, we've got another 45 minutes to try and win this, then extra time and penalties. No one will be thinking about extra time and penalties yet. That's a kind of a defeatist mentality, really. But at half-time, both will be kind of contented with the 0-0. They'll both say that gives us work to do for the second half, because they both know that there is an improvement needed in the second half. They both weren't anywhere near their best in that first half. Spain were the better of the two teams, but ultimately nothing to show for it, which means there is more to come. Spain, as I said, who are the tournament's highest scorers. England have scored 7 goals, but interestingly, both sides have had their substitutes involved in getting them goals, and that could be another point tonight that they focus on. The stat, to be exact, Spain have scored 13 goals, 3 of which have come from substitutes, and 2 assists have come from subs. In terms of England, 17 goals in the tournament, 1 goal by a substitute, and 2 assists by substitutes. So that's 43% of the team total for England have come from substitutes, and 38% for Spain. So both teams know that substitutes could play a very big part in this, and they both have great squads, great benches that could make the difference. Spain, you know, got a lot of attackers, the likes of Ferran Torres, who scored, of course, against Albania, that winner against Albania in the group. Watchalong, who did the heroics for Real Madrid a month or 2 ago in the Champions League. He can come on and make a difference. Mikel Oyarzabal, Grimaldo, Moreno, of course, who scored that 119th minute winner against Germany in the quarterfinal to progress. They've got quality off the bench, and England too. They've got a lot of quality. We see Anthony Gordon, who ended his club season with great form. Ollie Watkins, who scored the winner in the semi-final to get them here. Ivan Toney, who set up, got an assist for Harry Kane's winner in the round of 16 game. Cole Palmer as well, who actually set up Ollie Watkins for that winner in the semi-final. I mean, there's lots of quality off the bench for these two teams in terms of the striker role, but midfield, defence, every single player, you never know who could pop up in the big moments and be the one to make the difference, and that's why substitutes could be a massive part in this final and what way it ends up going. But we have another 45 minutes on the way in just a moment, and you'll not want to miss it. If it is, as I said, level after 90 minutes, extra time and penalties are there if we need them. Right, it is Spain 0, England 0 in the Euro 2024 final at half-time, and the second half is on the way next. Do stay with us. Welcome back to Euro 2024 live on LFS for the live final. At half-time, it is 0-0 between Spain and England. We'll have a look at the tournament bracket to see what got us to this point, who went out, who went through, everything that's happened from the knockout stages onwards. We'll get to that in a moment. But you saw that little lad there about tomorrow. More details Monday 9 a.m. or tomorrow at 9 a.m. for the 2024-25 season, including, if you were having a look on our community page a few days ago, we'll have a new logo announced tomorrow, and the date for when we start next season is to release tomorrow, along with other details. All of that, you don't want to miss the next era of LFS. That's coming tomorrow from 9. No breaks, certainly not. Right, let's quickly have a look at the route to the final then, the bracket that's got us to this point. Spain getting all the way through to the final from beating Georgia, then beating Germany, and then beating France in their knockout games. And on the opposite side, England had to come from behind against Slovakia to win on extra time, had to come from behind against Switzerland to win on penalties, and had to come from behind in 90 minutes against the Netherlands to get to this point. Other sides that got through the round of 16 were Germany, the hosts, Portugal, the 2016 champions, France, the two-time winners and 2016 finalists, the Netherlands, who won it in 1988, Turkey, who got to the semi-finals in 2008, and of course Switzerland, as I said, who got to the quarter-finals last time out, knocking out France. They knocked out the hosts. Turkey knocked out Austria, one of the best performers. Netherlands beat a pretty poor Romania ultimately on the day, but a Romania side that had been promising through the tournament. Belgium were beaten by France, that cruel own goal against them. Slovenia were one of the top performers. They took Portugal all the way to penalties. Denmark were a good battler against Germany, but ultimately all failing. And Georgia, of course, in their debut tournament, getting to the knockouts, ultimately faltering at the first hurdle. But every side, all 24 teams, certainly did their country's pride. And we'll see which one will make their country even more pride tonight, Spain and England. The second half is literally seconds away because the players are re-entering the field for the next 45 minutes to see who will be crowned the champions of Europe. Something that Real Madrid might have a problem with us saying. European champions, champions of Europe, doesn't really matter. Both pretty important, although it looks like Spain are eyeing up a change at half-time. I said both sides would be pretty happy with how their sides have ultimately played in that first half, and it looks like there's a big shock incoming. Luis de la Fuente, I don't know if this is enforced, a forced change that he has to make, but Zubimendi is coming on, and coming off is Rodri. Martin Zubimendi coming on and Rodri off. Now, we haven't seen Rodri return to the field or be out there at all, and that looks pretty ominous for Spain. It's maybe an injury could be the problem, but there is no Rodri for the second 45 for Spain, so they're going to have to do it without one of their talismanic figures. Spain and Rodri, one of the probably most crucial, most pertinent players to the way they play, but they'll have to do it without him in the next 45 at least. Of course, they did have a game without Rodri after he accumulated those yellow cards. He did miss a game already in the tournament. As we get back underway then for the second half, no Rodri for Spain. He missed that Albania game, Rodri, in the group. Ultimately, Spain made 10 changes, so it was unlikely that he was going to be involved anyway, but that was the only other game that he had missed. And he won't play the rest of this final, which will be a devastating end to his night, whether that be, I'm guessing, through injury. I don't think you're going to take off one of your best players at half-time at 0-0, unless Luis de la Fuente is a bit crackers. Throw in early on here for Spain. That might be just that little bit of a leg up that maybe England will be looking for, wanting, hoping for. I mean, you're never hoping that a player gets injured, but it'll certainly be one less problem for England to have to worry about. I mean, Zubimendi, no discredit, but he's no Rodri. Rodri, an ominous figure in that midfield. Here's Carvajal on the spin. Nice work from Yamal. Lovely turn. Yamal, look at the lifted across. Here's Nico Williams! That's a perfect start to the second half. Spain take the lead in Berlin. And it's Nico Williams. The two top performers in Spain's team through the tournament, Lamine Yamal and Nico Williams, combining to give La Roja the lead in the 2024 Euros final. Massive start to the second half. England bemused, confused, but Spain bouncing. La Roja have the taste of the lead. Lovely work down the right hand side. Carvajal lifting it forward for Yamal. The turn was beautiful, and to just lift it, caress it out to Nico Williams on that left hand side, and with his left boot strikes the ball into the far side netting, past Jordan Pickford, past everyone in white, and into the back of the net to give Spain the lead. An incredible start to the second half, and Spain have first blood in the final. Spain 1, England 0, and Nico Williams, the clinical finisher. And it's certainly not something that England are not used to, especially in the knockout games. I referred to it at least once or twice so far, and maybe a warning sign to their oppositions to not score first against England, because in all three of their previous knockout games, the round of 16, the quarterfinals and the semi-finals, England have come from behind to progress. They'll have to do it once more if they're going to want to lift the trophy now, because it's Spain that have that lead, and that goal could be huge. They've won by 1 goal scoreline 4 times out of their 6 previous games. Here they come again, and another one just gone wide. Dani Olmo coming very close. Again, Spain have turned it up in the second half. Carvajal plays it to Nico Williams, the edge of the box. Tries to maybe strike it himself. It ends up in the path of Dani Olmo, who breaks away from John Stones and just tries to do the same with his left, try and find that far corner, but goes the wrong side of the post from Dani Olmo there. It's another good chance for Spain. That one going the wrong side of the post. England have to be wary here. They don't want to be cast adrift too early in the second half. They've conceded one. They most certainly do not want to concede another, because surely Spain will not look back if they do double their lead. Pickford to go long. Lenormand winning the header. Supermendi to Ruiz. Nice touch from Carvajal. Now Ruiz, but just a bit short, as Mainu intercepts. Bellingham winning England the throw-in down that left-hand side. That is perfect for Spain at the start of this second half. Nico Williams giving them the lead. They'll know it's not the be-all and end-all of this final, as Carvajal does well against Luke Shaw there. Just stumbling as I was watching that attack from England down the left-hand side, and Shaw well blocked off by Carvajal. As I said, Spain will know this is not the be-all and end-all. One goal doesn't always decide it. And there's still a long way to go. Another 40 minutes at the very least to play in this game before anything is decided. And as I said, England know how to come from behind. They've done it multiple times before. And they have a pretty good record, not only in knockout football, but also inside this stadium. England are unbeaten in their last 13 Euro matches since a 2-1 loss to Iceland back in the 2016 round of 16. They've won 8 and drawn 5 of those games. England. Here's Shaw. Bellingham back to Rice. Now Stones as England try and conjure up a response. Saka to Mainu. Rice again. Now to Bellingham. Spain look to close it down. Walker looking to lift it. Put too much height behind that one. Shaw trying to recover, but it just goes the wrong side of the touchline there for Luke Shaw. Throw in to Spain. Well, Spain are also in a very good run of form in knockout football. They're unbeaten in their last 12 Euros finals matches. They've won 8, drawn 4, since a 2-0 loss against Italy in the last 16 at Euro 2016. So both have long spells of unbeaten runs at Euros knockouts. Ultimately, anything that ends in a penalty shootout ultimately doesn't go down as a loss. It's a draw, ultimately, in the 120 minutes. Ultimately, you lose, but it doesn't go down in the stats as that in the end. So both sides have never exited, excluding penalties, from a Euros knockout game since the round of 16 in 2016. This is a long time ago. Spain were the holders at that point. So they'd won it in 2012. Here's Zubimendi to try and add to that dynamic of running forward for Spain as Morata dropped deep. And he wins the free kick there, Martin Zubimendi, off John Stones. And a yellow card goes the way of the England centre-back. Zubimendi there, holding up the ball well and ultimately going to ground. Stones paying the price for that challenge and getting a yellow card. Cucurella to Nico Williams. Cucurella is left on the floor, but the referee allows Spain to play on. Laporte. Ruiz. Fabian Ruiz. Now to Cucurella. Down the left to Nico Williams up against Walker. Williams trying to spray it to Morata, who has to go back. Nicely taken down there by Zubimendi. Spain looking controlled at the moment. Of course, that goal will give them a massive boost. Massive vein of confidence. That adrenaline that will be flowing through them at this moment in time. It's all about controlling that and keep it under kind of wraps. Not getting too carried away. It's lovely from Yamal. Carvajal. And find a space, but well closed down by Guehi. As Rice tries to scramble away, but given away to Carvajal, and now Morata looking to drive forward. Morata had the shot well blocked and well tracked by Mark Guehi, who is screaming at his side to say hi, that was allowed to happen. Great work from Mark Guehi. Again, the passion coursing through his veins. You can see what it means to Mark Guehi, who's been a top performer for England in the tournament. At centre-back, England have looked defensively solid. Never looked uncomfortable defensively. Mark Guehi certainly a key component to that. Here's Lenormand. Finds Yamal. Nicely with a ball in behind Morata. Trying to spin it to the far corner, but well closed out by Bellingham. Back to Carvajal. Now Yamal. Lamine Yamal. Trying to weave his way through, but well closed down by Bellingham. And Bellingham to carry the ball away for England. Not very far though, has to go back to Rice, who's almost on his own goal line. And scrambles it away, but panicky there from Rice. Ruiz picks up. Now Williams again in this shot. Swung past that left post. Another worrying moment for the Three Lions. And it's Nico Williams causing the threat again. That time again it just goes the wrong side of the post, but Spain certainly unleashing their attacking quality in the second half. Upping the level just that slight bit more. And England's starting to feel it. It's all about England staying on top of this. Staying alert, staying concentrated. Not allowing runners to run free. We saw Yamal get a bit of space, and you literally saw it in the last game. You cannot give him space. because he will unleash something miraculous. He set up that goal for Nico Williams in the game already. He's a finisher and a creative force, all in one. Incredible. Yamal, as Harry Kane tries to play on Bellingham, who ended up on the floor, but referee saw no issue with it. The Norman licking it forward, trying to find Morata. Well closed out by Rice. Stones. 12 minutes gone of the second half, and Stones' crossfield ball goes right out of play for a throw-in. The test of a manager, most certainly no now. In the high-pressured moments, and England are going to make a change. Ezri Konsa readying himself on the sidelines. So we'll see him entering the fray very shortly. Well, England are unbeaten in their last 6 games at the Euros when conceding first. They've drawn 1-5 and drawn 1, with no side winning more such games in the competition's history than England on that front. So that comeback ability is certainly evident for England, and again they'll have to show it once more. And of course they conceded, as I said, the first goal in all 3 of their knockout games. The round of 16 game against Slovakia, Ivan Schrant scoring. Switzerland in the quarterfinals, Brelin Bolo scoring. And Netherlands in the semi-finals, Xavi Simons scoring. But on all 3 occasions, England came from behind and ultimately won either in 90 minutes, extra time or penalties to progress. They've done it every which way in coming back, and they've had the same result from all 3 games, a victory. Here's Lamine Yamal, back to Carvajal. Ruiz, down the left is Nico Williams, back to Fabian Ruiz. Ollie Watkins, I think, is readying himself on the sidelines for England. We'll see his involvement momentarily. Of course, scored the winner in the semi-final. Here's Olmo trying to squeeze it through for Morata, but well closed out by Shaw. And back to Jordan Pickford. Shaw outstretching a right foot there just to nip it away from Morata. Just in the nick of time. Defending well for England there was Luke Shaw. Rice into the midfield for Bellingham to look forward, try and find a teammate. Look at this, switch it out to Saka, who chests it down. Back to Walker, now Saka again down the right flank. England trying to get bodies forward to get them up the pitch, give them something. Walker to Saka, now feeds it forward for Foden, looking to cut it across, and Carvajal the first to react to clear it away for Spain. As Walker picks it back up, Mainu trying to stretch the Spanish team. Cucurella in the way. And then Williams to pick up the scraps, although Saka dispossessing his opponent. England starting to battle back a bit more now against Spain. Get a bit more joy now. Guehi to Shaw, who stopped in his tracks there by Carvajal. Will be a England throw. And change incoming then for England's Harry Kane, the captain, is coming off. He's given the captain's armband to Kyle Walker, and he's going to make way for Ollie Watkins. Both players scoring in the semi-final. Kane from the spot, and Watkins in the 90th minute to give England their place in this final. Lando Norris, Formula 1 driver, another bit of celeb spotting in the crowd. Lando Norris, the McLaren Formula 1 driver, watching on. I think we got a shot of David Seaman a bit earlier on as well. As England try and weave their way through again. Bellingham has to spread it out wide to Saka. Bodies in the box for England. Saka has the target to try and find one. Back to Walker. Now Rice. To Guehi. Lots of bodies up for England, but lots of bodies back for Spain. Guehi finds Shaw. Back to Guehi. Continued his run. Shaw again. Again, no space for England to try and find a way through. Rice to Kyle Walker. Now out to the right flank for Saka. Williams blocking him off, but ultimately fouling Bukayo Saka in the process. And England will get a free kick. There's just been a bit of emotions bubbling over there. The referee just having to sort out one or two little issues here, little scuffles after that free kick was given. Just seeing the replay of that free kick, it was the correct decision to give that free kick. Foul on Bukayo Saka by Nico Williams. And Phil Foden over it. Can he whip a tantalising ball in here, Phil Foden? Lots of bodies in the box. In red and also in white. Foden's delivery, left-footed, headed away by Laporte. Rice picks it back up again, easily dealt with that free kick by Spain. Had all of their players back. Second half has been a step up from Spain. England trying their best. At the moment, Spain just doing enough. Although Foden's done well there. Saka now into the path of Bellingham. Lovely turn by Bellingham. Just wide. That's huge. Massive moment there. Wonderful. Foden wins the ball. Lays it back off to Saka. And Saka across to Bellingham, who had about 3 bodies around him. Spun away from them all. On the edge of the D, just tried to hit it straight. Trying to find the left corner. Might have took a slight deflection maybe. Or maybe it was just curling away from goal, but narrowly wide by Jude Bellingham there. Certainly scored quite a number for Real Madrid. And he scored 2 already in this tournament for England. The winner against Serbia, match day 1 of the group, and the equaliser against Slovakia in the 95th minute in the round of 16. That was a bit away there from that one. Well, interestingly, one thing that I hadn't mentioned about tonight was top scorer at the tournament. Who will get the golden boot? Well, of course, there's a lot of players on 3 goals. So there's a lot of joint goal scorers at the moment. And it's if it ends that way, it will come down to who's got more goal involvements. Who's got more goals and assists combined that will give them the golden boot. And we're just trying to figure out who that would be at this moment in time. There are 6 players on 3 goals. Harry Kane, Georgios Mikatadze, Jamal Musiala, Cody Gakpo, Ivan Schranz and Dani Olmo. So Dani Olmo, who's still on the pitch, if he scores, will be the outright scorer. Top scorer of the tournament. Harry Kane now cannot do that because he's now off the field of play. So he won't grab the golden boot, Harry Kane. Because he has not got the number of assists that needed to take him above that threshold. 25 minutes to go in the Euro 2024 final in Berlin. Spain 1, England 0. And Nico Williams' goal separating the two sides at the moment. That wonderful start to the second half for Spain has them narrowly ahead in the German capital. A long kick from Pickford, intercepted by Cucurella. This is lovely from Spain. Morata, nice ball to Lamine Yamal, couldn't carry it with him. Yamal to go again, and Pickford to make the save for a corner. Lamine Yamal coming close there. Just see it again, really good from Spain. I mean, the crisp, sharp passing. Pickford knocks it long. Cucurella intercepts, and they're 1 second picking the ball up from the England kick, and they're in on goal. A few passes later, Spain, it was crisp, and Lamine Yamal couldn't take it with him the first time. ended up recontrolling himself and ended up getting the shot off at the edge of the box, and the reactionary save from Jordan Pickford puts it for the corner, which Williams will deliver. Laporte going for the header, felt he was dragged down, but the referee said nothing as England clear it away. It's Mainu caught in the ball, and it will be a Spain throw. Morata screaming with the motivation at winning that free kick, or that throw in. Dani Carvajal to take it, but they're going to make a change for the moment. Spain, Mikel Oyarzabal coming on, and Alvaro Morata will make way. So both teams have taken their captains off and their strikers. Harry Kane off for England, and now Alvaro Morata off for Spain. And Mikel Oyarzabal is coming on in his place. Morata, of course, assisted Lamine Yamal's goal to break that record in the semi-final, and of course scored against Croatia on match day 1 to get the very first goal for Spain in the tournament. His tournament will end in watching his side in the final quarter of this game to see if they can get it over the line. The man coming on to replace him in Mikel Oyarzabal scored 4 goals in 2 games prior to the Euros, but has got just the 1 assist in the tournament so far. And as I said, a quarter of the game to go. Spain continue to lead. But is there going to be a magic moment that has been so accustomed from England in the tournament so far? Those individual moments of brilliance that has got them over the line previously. Here's Olmo. Yamal have a bit of defending to do first as Yamal tries to lift it in. Stones, a bit nervy there, heads it behind for the corner. Was threatened by the sea of red that was in front of him and had to put it behind for the Spain corner. I'm going to close that poll in the chat very shortly, around about the 75-minute mark. So if you haven't voted already on who you think's going to win the tournament, do get those votes in pretty quickly. The poll will be closing very, very shortly in the 75th minute of this game. Spain to take this corner. Yamal, left-footed delivery, back post. Pickford punched it away. Olmo to pick it up on the edge. Left-hand side, looking to lift it in again. Pickford again tries to punch away. The opposite side. Williams to pick up the loose ball for Spain. Ball down the line. Zubamendi to deliver, and Robin and Norman was in the middle there waiting. Olmo. Now Ruiz always rising. Not too far away from Fabian Ruiz there. Struck right through it, but was always rising above the bar, that one. Took it on the half volley, and it was never testing Jordan Pickford in the English goal. Although Pickford was tested a couple of minutes ago. Had to make a couple of punches to clear away. Spain have had 3 times the amount of shots of England in this game so far. 12 for Spain, 4 for England. Spain 3 shots on target to England's 1. So they're dominating the stats. Spain, and Gareth Southgate going to make another change. Kobbie Mainoo is coming off and Cole Palmer is on in his place. So I'm guessing... Oh, Watkins almost got the break of the ball there. As Carvajal looked a bit panicky. Spain not convincing that on that bit of defending. Here's Bellingham. Misplaces the pass as Spain do clear their lines and out for the English throw. That might be a bit of confidence for Watkins. Bit of a glimpse. Here's Palmer. Trying to dart in Watkins. Well closed down by Cucurella. Zubamendi trying to scramble, but won back by Saka. Charged down well there. As Oyarzabal picks up. And now Ruiz on the spin. Into a bit of space for Carvajal now. 20 minutes to go. Olmo. Yamal. All the way back to Robin Lenormand. And across to Aymeric Laporte. Well, Spain's Lamine Yamal became the youngest player to score in a Euros or a World Cup in the semi-final when his screamer against France went into the back of the net. An absolute wonder of a goal. at 16 years and 362 days, became the youngest player to score in a Euros or a World Cup, beating Pelé's record that lasted over 60 years. Pelé's record from 1958, when Pelé was 17 years and 239 days old. So Yamal almost breaking that record by almost a year. The other youngest scorers, Manuel Rosas at 18 years and 93 days, and Gavi, also of Spain, scoring with 18 years and 110 days. I think that was in a World Cup though. Oh, here comes Spain again. Zubamendi, and now into Oyarzabal, carried a bit wide. Oyarzabal straight into the hands of Jordan Pickford. Wasn't testing the English keeper as Cucurella committed himself, gives the ball away. Palmer, now to Saka down the right hand side. England on the front foot here. Saka into the box he comes, squares it across. Bellingham drops it off. Palmer! England are level. Cole Palmer gets England on terms. Set up Watkins for the winner in the semi-final and has one of his own in the final. Cole Palmer delivered countless times for Chelsea in the Premier League and has just delivered for England on the international stage at the Euro 2024 final. Spain won, England won. Game on in Berlin. Ultimately, it was Cucurella gave the ball away and Palmer started the move, played it down the right to Saka. Saka in the box, squared it across to Bellingham. He just laid it off to Palmer, and the arrow of the shot with his left foot from around the edge of the D, right through the legs of the Spanish captain Carvajal, and into the bottom left corner. That's a lovely finish by Cole Palmer, and an equalising goal for England that they've seen many times in this tournament so far, and they've just witnessed another one here. Cole Palmer, the finisher this time, and gets England back on terms and sets it up for us an absolute marvellous next 17 minutes. Is there a winner on the cards, or will extra time and penalties be needed? Wow. Take a breath. Cole Palmer stepping up and being counted for England. Cole Palmer, as I said, delivered massively for Chelsea and assisted Ollie Watkins in getting that goal to win the game against the Netherlands. Has resurged England again, and they come forward again. Here's Saka into the box, weaving his way through. Saka trying to cross it, and it's Spain that are on the ropes here for the moment. This English crowd inside this stadium cheering their side on. Pickford trying to carry them through and cheering their team on. Conduct the English fans who are looking for their side to make history tonight. Saka. Walker. Now Palmer. Blocked off well there by Fabian Ruiz. It will be an England throw. Every single thing that goes England's way is met with a riot of cheers from the stands. Walker to take the throw on the right hand side. Is he on up the long throw? Maybe. Kyle Walker. Body's in the box here. He's not going to go for the long throw. He's going to throw it all the way back to John Stones. And now Pickford gets a bit of time to hoof the ball forward to go very long. Ultimately end up for a goal kick to Spain. Pickford knowing his mistake there, knocking it too long, and Ollie Watkins asking for it. Spain getting the resurgence of possession again. So it's Spain 1, England 1. Most certainly anybody's game in the dying the last 15 minutes, plus any additional time in this Euro 2024 final. Well, Spain break a record of lifting this trophy for a record-breaking 4th time? Or will it be finally coming home for England and lifting the trophy for the very first time? And lifting their first international trophy since 1966, 58 years ago. Has their time come again? Or will Spain get it done? Zubamendi. Lenormand. Yamal. Nice first touch by Carvajal. Takes himself out to the right flank. Followed all the way by Foden. Carvajal. Back it goes to Yamal. Lenormand. Laporte. Out to Cucurella on the left. Has nowhere to go as he's tracked all the way by Saka. Plays it off to Zubamendi now. Nico Williams. Back to Marc Cucurella. Ruiz to Robin Lenormand. Spain exclusively in the English half. Lots of bodies up the field. It's about finding them now. Carvajal to lift one into the box. A bit too high for Oyarzabal in there, as Williams will pick up on the left-hand side. Walker in his wake. Williams to lift it in. Oyarzabal the target again. Will be a corner. As it took a last touch off an English player in John Stones. Williams lifting in again, and Stones there ahead of Oyarzabal to head it out for the corner. Stones has been there to do that multiple times tonight. And was there again to help England defensively. So chant after chant after chant for England inside this stadium. Their fans certainly being heard. Williams to deliver from the corner. Not fully cleared by Bellingham. Brought down by Ruiz. Tried to recycle it around the corner as Palmer hooks it clear of any sort of danger. And out for a Spanish throw on the right hand side. As Gareth Southgate cheers his side on. Applauds their efforts. As I said, Southgate has become only the 3rd manager to take charge of more than one Euros final, excluding replays, after Helmut Schön in 1972 and 1976 and Bertie Vogts 1992 and 1996, both with Germany. However, no one has ever made it to 2 finals in the competition before and lost those finals. Southgate, if England were to lose this, would be the first to do that. But they're not thinking about that now. They probably would have been about 10-15 minutes ago. But right now, that's not on their mind. Carvajal. Around the corner. Nice start forward for Oyarzabal. Just about keeps it alive, but loses his balance. And loses the ball as Guehi guides that one out for the goal kick. Seeing that effort from Palmer again. A wonderful effort. Might take a slight nick on the way through. Not much to really change the trajectory of it. The finish was fabulous, and another shot of David Seaman there in the crowd cheering on. Zubamendi goes back to his keeper, and Unai Simon. 10 minutes to go. Spain 1, England 1. At this rate, extra time and penalties are on the horizon. Unless either side can win it. England needed a 90th minute winner against the Netherlands. Spain scoring a lot earlier in their other games, but went to extra time against Germany and waited to the very penultimate minute of extra time, the 119th, before they got a winner. So they're both accustomed to late winners in this tournament, and they would need another one here this evening if they're to avoid extra time or penalties. Here's Ruiz trying to run through bodies. Foden in the way, picking it up for Bellingham. Now Palmer, well dispossessed by Zubamendi, and now Nico Williams to dart forward. He's got Oyarzabal on the run. Williams wants to go himself. Back to Olmo. Eke his way through. Williams to Danny Olmo. Falls to Yamal. Big save by Pickford. Another massive stop from the English keeper. And Lamine Yamal, the one on the end of it again. That courteous little football. Beautiful football from Olmo and Williams. And then Yamal on the end of it. Ultimately denied again by the English keeper. Yamal. Zubamendi. Williams. England just sitting a bit deeper now. Lenormand. Carvajal. Can Spain feel it coming? Ruiz to Carvajal. I'll go back to Lenormand. Now Zubamendi out to Williams on the left. Looking to get past Walker, but blocked out by Kyle Walker. And sliding in was Zubamendi to clear it out for the throw-in to England. As there's going to be a change in coming then for Spain. And it's going to be Nacho. It's going to come on. Just seeing that Yamal chance again. The effort is curling towards Pickford, but he has to make that save. Big save. Made massive importance. And Robin Lenormand is coming off. And Nacho coming on. So a straight swap at centre back for Spain. Luis de la Fuente making that change. A tactical one. Adding a bit of extra experience onto the side, into the side for the latter stages here for La Roja. 7 minutes plus additional time to go in normal time. Spain 1, England 1. Deadlock restored again in the final. Ruiz to Laporte. Asking for runners there, Laporte. Finds Olmo, back to Zubamendi. Into space for Nacho. He's got the fresh legs, Nacho. Plays it across to Olmo. Bodies forward, running across. Olmo taking the option of the short pass to Williams. Now Yamal in field. Yamal out wide to Carvajal. Bodies into the box coming for Spain. Edge of the box for Ruiz. Back to Carvajal again. Blocked off well by Foden back there. It's Carvajal. Now Yamal. Williams. Crowded area as Spain try and squeeze their way through, and Rice was there to break it apart. Ultimately goes out for the corner. Again, they're trying to squeeze it in between the lines there, Spain. In between a lot of bodies. Olmo and Williams, and Rice just outstretching a leg at the right time to put it behind for the corner. As there's Xavi in the crowd. Just got a glimpse of him, the Barcelona legend, current Barcelona manager, watching some of his players, one of which is Yamal to deliver. Rice to head it away, and Saka to hoof it up the pitch. Back under control from Ruiz as Spain's relentless attacking continues. Will it find another breakthrough? Cucurella. Now Olmo. Look at the lift it. Yamal to make the run in behind. Yamal. Ball bounces, carries him wide. Plays it across. The punch from Pickford, who gathers ultimately to stop the cross. Finding, I think it was Oyarzabal that was trying to find a way in. As England again clear it away and get away a danger. 5 minutes plus additional time. The clock running down. Throw a couple of stats your way. This is the third meeting between Spain and England at the Euros. England winning 2-1 in the 1980 group stage and progressing 4-2 on penalties after a 0-0 draw in the 1996 quarter-final. So they've met twice before in the Euros, and England progressing on both occasions. England have failed to score, though, in 3 of their last 4 major tournament games against Spain, with the last 2 such matches ending 0-0, the 82 World Cup and the 96 Euros. But of course they've scored tonight, which is crucial. Olmo to Oyarzabal. Now Cucurella across Oyarzabal! Reaches for it and restores the lead for Spain. Mikel Oyarzabal could be the Spanish hero in the German capital. England feeling the late pain again. And La Roja could be rising above the Olympic Stadium. And 2-1 it comes with just 4 minutes to go. This could be the moment for Spain they've been waiting for. England are not happy with something, but I don't think there's anything wrong with it. Mikel Oyarzabal, one of the substitutes, popping up for Spain in the box and just getting a boot to it to see it past Jordan Pickford. Is there an offside in the build-up though? Oyarzabal to Cucurella, and is that offside? That's very close. What a pass by Cucurella. Wonderful, just past Walker, into the path of Oyarzabal, and a poacher's finish personified by Mikel Oyarzabal. Outstretching a leg that could be the winner. VAR will have a look, it's very tight. But I think they have cleared it. And we will see. We will see if there's going to be a change. I think Spain are going to make a change in the moment. Mikel Moreno is coming on, but we're back underway, and VAR have cleared it. Spain are ahead. You can never be too careful with VAR. But it's now England that have no time to be careful. It's do or die. Now or never. Ollie Watkins, well closed down by Laporte. Corner for England. 2 minutes plus additional time to go. A lovely ball by Bellingham, and Watkins just trying to take it on the spin. And Nacho there to clear it away for the corner. Ivan Toney wants to come on. He is coming on. Phil Foden's going to make way, so an extra bit of height in the box for England. Ivan Toney coming on. He set up Harry Kane for the winner. He won't be setting up Harry Kane tonight, but we're hoping he can set England onto another equaliser. Mikel Moreno is also going to come on for Spain. And Lamine Yamal is coming off. Lamine Yamal, who assisted Nico Williams for the opener for Spain, who scored that wonder goal in the semi-final. His night comes to an end, but he could be, at the very first time of asking, could be lifting this trophy by the end of tonight. But not too certain yet. Cole Palmer to take this corner for England. Last minute of the 90. They scored in the 90th minute in the semi-final. They'll need a similar type of outcome if they're going to keep themselves alive here. Palmer, left-footed delivery into the box. It comes. Rice with a header. Big save off the line. Another one gone wide by Rice. And Danny almost celebrates. But that was ever so close for England. About 3 times on the bounce. Rice with the first save. Then the second one from Gurhey. Another one blocked off the line by Olmo. And then Rice again heading wide. 3 headers in the matter of about 10 seconds for England. All not finding the back of the net. Massive chances gone a-begging for England there. And at a time when they can't be letting those chances leave them. They have to take them. And that is ever so close. 4 added minutes then at the end of the 90. 4 more until Spain become European champions. 4 more for England to try and rescue this. There's more than enough time. But will there be that magic moment that gets England across the line? Or will Spain hold on, cling on, give it everything for the latter stages as Oyarzabal tries to play it down the line? Overhits that one, and Pickford to pick up for the goal kick. England are running out of time massively now. Here's Saka. And so there's going to be a free kick for Spain here. There's a player on the floor. Went up for the header. Trying to see who it was. Might be Laporte. And there's a yellow card out as well. The referee. Bit of a scramble here. Nacho was the one that went down. I'll see it again. maybe just a high boot from Watkins there. It is. Free kick and a yellow card. Ollie Watkins in the book. And a free kick goes the way of Spain. And Spain will not be in a hurry. They've got time on their side. Something that England do not have. As Pedri watches on, of course. Can't find himself involved. Very nerve-wracking. Got injured in the semi-final. Sorry, in the quarter-final, apologies, against Germany. But they're on the verge here, Spain. 2 minutes to go. And England only need one chance, but they need to take it if they get it. And it's last gasp type stuff this would be, as Palmer wins the free kick. That's the type of thing that England need to be doing. Although Guehi trampled all over there. Another free kick goes for England. Spain really trying to hold them off now. As there's just 90 seconds now, and Pickford stepping up to take this one. He's thrown everybody forward. It's do or die for England. Pickford takes the free kick, darts out to the right. Header won by Laporte. Brought down by Saka on the right. Lots of English bodies in the way as Saka trying to control it. Ends up giving it away, the free kick to Marco Correa on the floor. And Spain get the free kick out of that one. Just seeing the offside decision again. It is ever so close. It is John Stones' knee that plays Mikel Oyarzabal onside. It is that close. How agonisingly close it is. And England feeling the frustration of that. Oyarzabal stepping up and delivering. I said he'd score four goals in 2 games prior to the Euros. He'd only 1 assist in the Euros. He's maybe popped up at the very right time to get his only goal of the tournament. Could be the most massive goal of the tournament for Spain. And a record-breaking goal as well. That is their 15th of the tournament, making them the highest scorers ever in a single edition of a European Championships, ahead of France from 1984. Time's up! And that's it! Spain are your European champions for 2024. They were fought all the way. England took them all the way. But in the final whistle going in Berlin, it is La Roja who rise to the top. There at the summit of European football. England beaten in back-to-back finals. And Gareth Southgate becomes the first manager to lose back-to-back European finals. But it's not for the want of trying. Spain took the lead when Yamal set up Williams. And they never gave up England. They fought back. Cole Palmer getting the equaliser. But it was Mikel Oyarzabal who stepped up and had the final say. Red will rise above the skies of Germany tonight. Spain will be jubilant because they are the European champions for the 4th time in their history and for the most times in European history. No one has ever won it 4 times before until this Spanish team. An uprising of the most remarkable sorts. They weren't picked to be one of the favourites when the tournament started or before the tournament, but when they showed up, they'd done the talking on the field. And in all 7 games, Spain, they were the better side. And they showed up and delivered. 7 games of pure brilliance. 7 wins in their games. And they have done it. Champions of Europe for La Roja. England frustrated. Anger. But it will be a heartbreaking one once again for the 3 Lions, who feel the pain of getting all the way to a final but just not getting over the line in the end. Heartache and pain for England, but an incredible moment for Spain, who have been the best side since the very kick of the very first ball of the tournament. When they beat Croatia, all the talk was they have the bare bones of the experience and the youth. Massive combination that could lift them to this trophy. But on the pitch, they have delivered time and time again. Croatia, Italy, Albania, Georgia, Germany, France, and then England. They have beaten all of the top teams to become the top team in Europe. Spain get it done, and they are European champions for the fourth time. 1964, 2008, 2012, and now 2024. Spain are European champions once again. Wow. What a game. What an outcome. What a monumental tournament final. It delivered. It offered the very best. And we saw the top quality of both sides. Their attacking talent has been the talk of the town all the way through the tournament for both of these sides. Maybe England not showing it as much in the end, but tonight it was Spain that did the business and got the job over the line to be crowned European champions. Their name engraved on that trophy for the fourth time in history. Campeones, champions once again. And a quick moment to talk about England, because they've got to another final, and again feeling the similar feelings of previous finals, getting all the way there but just not able to see it through, not able to get it over the line. And maybe, just maybe, another time will come, but one thing is for certain: the trophy is going to be Spain's tonight, and it's certainly not coming home for England after all that. They fought their way to the final, but when the final comes, the cream always rises to the top. And this time, it is Spain that are the top nation in Europe. An incredible feat from Spain. I mean, we talked and all the talk before the games. We'd played 51 games now, but before any of those got underway, it was England that were amongst the favourites, considering their record at Euro 2020, getting to the final on home turf. They knew it was going to be more difficult this time round, and ultimately the same outcome for England in the final. They probably didn't play at their best for any of the 6 games. Maybe a lot better in the semi-final, but ultimately it's about delivering when the going gets tough and when you have to deliver in a final. And ultimately, harshly maybe, but England couldn't get it done on the night, and the champions always find a way. Teams that are worthy of this trophy will always find a way to rise again, to lift themselves from ruin, and to become the top team once more. And Spain have done that once again. Said it, that they've been the best side all through the tournament, the most wonderful side to watch, both attacking and defending as well. They're the top scorers, as I said, broke another record, 15 goals scored in one tournament, as the most by any side in a European Championships history. 14 was the previous record by France in 1984. Spain have broken that record. They've also extended a record they broke in the semi-final of now winning 7 successive games at a European Championship, something that no side had ever done previously. No side had ever won 5 without the need of penalties in a European Championships before. Spain have just done 7, something that cannot be broken. It can be equalled, but it cannot be broken unless the tournament expands once more. But Spain, all the records, all the talk, all the stats can go long into the night, but it's those 2 goal scorers, Nico Williams and Mikel Oyarzabal, that got them over the line, and that got them that ultimate win that they ever so craved. That wonderful mix of youth and experience. We talk about it at club level, about finding the right balance to create a championship winning side. Well, Spain have found the right balance, and it's clicked at the very right time for them at international level once again. And when they won the Euros in 2008, it was the start of a period of dominance on the international stage. They went on to win the World Cup 2 years later and retained the trophy of the European Championships 2 years after that, something that no side had ever done in European Championship history. Spain are the record breakers once again, a fourth time, again something that no side had ever done before. A few had done it 3 times, Spain were one of those, but now they make themselves outright kings of this trophy. They've done it at club level through Real Madrid at the Champions League. And speaking of the Champions League, another stat that goes the way of Spain tonight and their players, with 3 of their players, Dani Carvajal, Nacho and Joselu, despite Joselu not playing a minute in the final, Joselu, Nacho and Carvajal have all joined an exclusive list of players that have won the Euros and the Champions League in the same summer. Of course, those 3 players winning the Champions League with Real Madrid a month or so ago, and now winning the Euros with their country. What a summer it's been for Spain and Spanish football. Their club team has rose to the top in the Champions League, and their international team rises to the top at the international level. Well, they had broke previous records. I mean, you could talk all night about the records Spain have broke. The youngest player to play in a Euros in Lamine Yamal. The youngest player to score in a Euros or a World Cup in Lamine Yamal. The oldest outfield player to appear in a Euros or World Cup semi-final in Jesus Navas. Dani Olmo scoring against France in the semi-final made him the first Spain player to score in 3 successive Euro matches. They, of course, unbeaten in that long record dating back to 2016, excluding penalties. The record amount of wins at a Euros and the amount of trophies that they have won at this tournament. They're the definition of record breakers and champions once again. They always deliver and always the best. Find a way to win. They didn't have Rodri for the whole of the second half, and I talked at the start of the second half whether that would be a problem. Well, they proved inside 2 minutes of the second half that wouldn't be a problem. Nico Williams scoring. Palmer did peg them back, and for a moment it thought England maybe were renewing their hopes and giving themselves belief of coming back once again as they'd done in 3 of their previous knockout games in this tournament. But it was Spain that had the final say in Mikel Oyarzabal. A tight, very, very tight offside decision that went the way of Spain. And ultimately, Oyarzabal's little toe popped up in the box and would be the biggest goal, his only goal of the tournament. And what a way to sign off at Euro 2024, scoring only 1 goal and it being the ultimate winner in the final. Incredible. The moment, the personification of a poacher. It's Spain's 11th win in their previous meetings against England. And they'd scored 32 goals previously. That's 34 now. But England, well, they will feel recent pain, recent hurt. They lost in a semi-final in the World Cup back in 2018. This started on their journey, long run under Gareth Southgate, of getting to the last 8 in 4 successive tournaments. They, of course, were beaten in the semi-final of the World Cup by Croatia. Then in 2020 they got all the way to the final on home turf and lost in the final on penalties. Then got to the last 8 to the quarterfinals at World Cup 2022. Lost narrowly to France. And now getting all the way to the final once again. Successive European Championship finals. And beaten once again. This time inside 90 minutes. I don't want to be cocky, But I did predict this. I did say that Spain would just edge it. I said 3-2, but I said that Spain would just edge it at 90 minutes. I didn't feel that we were going to extra time and penalties. For a while there, when Palmer did equalise, it looked like it might have been going to penalties, or extra time at least. But ultimately, not needed. And another page of my notes that I didn't need to use tonight. I had a penalty shootout record for this one, but not needed tonight. Of course, that can go in the recycling bin. I'm trying to weave through my stats. I'm trying to sift through them to give you any sort of key information, but it's all about emotion when these things happen. We knew that coming into this one, it would be close. Spain and England, you know, maybe not in terms of performances in previous games, but a final always balances things out. It always kind of levels things. And ultimately, they find a way, Spain, to win it. That's how the best do. And you can see a couple of pictures there of those key moments. Yamal's goal, sees him pictured on the left-hand side of your screen there. On our compilation there, our little grid. Yamal scoring that record-breaking goal to be the youngest player to score in a Euros or a World Cup. That equaliser against France. On the top right corner, you see Fabian Ruiz scoring, of course, against Croatia on match day 1 of the group. And of course you see there on the bottom right of your screen, Dani Carvajal also scoring in one of those games as well. Mikel Merino was another massive performer, got them through the quarter-final. Spain have had a wonderful tournament, a wonderful journey that ends in victory. England, it ends in tears once again. But they can once again be proud of what their side have given. You know, all the talk about the criticism of England throughout this tournament. They haven't played the best football. They've been boring to watch. They've been slow. Their tactics have been wrong. They've been imbalanced. But one thing, as I said in the semi-final, that England have always given was energy, was effort, and was certainly the belief that they could do it. Their players ultimately not getting over the line, but in the end, Spain were just the better side on the night, and quality rose them to that extra victory as the trophy is brought out onto the field and onto the plinth, ready for lifting with those red and yellow ribbons hanging from either side and Spain's name engraved onto it. I'm waiting to see them lift this trophy very momentarily. We will carry you through that. Any thoughts and feelings in the chat, do get them in. We'll read them out while we do have this bit of time. Flaming has given us a bit of an expletive performance. This is a disgrace, shall we say, as Lamine Yamal gets the little bumps as he walks through the standing ovation of his team. Lamine Yamal, an absolute sensation, bursting onto the scene. It's said so often, but he receives, I'm guessing that's young player of the tournament, from, of course, UEFA President Alexander Cheferin and a couple of UEFA officials, and Lamine Yamal getting that trophy. I mean, he's that young, he's still got braces on. I mean, that is the epitome of youth. I mean, Lamine Yamal, an absolute sensation at this tournament, breaking records in his wake, and just that freedom to play his game has unleashed an absolute monster for the future of Spain. Rodri will get player of the tournament, the Spain captain, captaining his side to another victory, ultimately going off at half-time. But he's played his massive part, and he will receive player of the tournament. Rodri, as you can see, celebrating in one of our pictures there. And of course, getting the plaudits from the officials there. And Alexander Cheferin, as I said, the UEFA president, handing that player of the tournament trophy off to Rodri. An absolute sensation in the Manchester City midfield. And he is even more so a talismanic figure in this Spanish midfield to deliver them another wonder trophy. We're just waiting on the next item of the protocol now to come. The officials. Francois Letessier with his officiating team, who officiated a wonderful game. All the critics about referees and how they can get things wrong. They're only human at the end of the day. And I have to say, the refereeing team, not a bad word to say about them in this game this evening. They were absolutely impeccable tonight. They had some tough calls to make, but the referee find that balance, give a few early yellow cards, but set the tone, and ultimately delivering a wonderful officiating scene as all the officials getting their plaudits, getting their medals from the UEFA president. And they're going to get their little picture with their gold medals hanging from their necks. And we're about to see the runners-up and champions presentations next, after the officials and the trophies are done. And now the runners-up being called to the plinth to get their plaudits. And their leaders walking up. And Gareth Southgate ushering his players forward to receive their runner-up medals. Ultimately, not gold this time, silver again. But applauded all the way through by the Spanish team. Pickford and Kane leading the way. A captain leading his team forward. Ultimately in defeat. And they will all go up to receive their runners-up medals. All 26 England players. Whether they played a part in the tournament or not, all are involved in the squad. And all play a part in the camp and what happens. Some hugs offered up there as well. The Prince of Wales, Prince William, the future King of England, giving the commiserations to the players that represent his country. Very vocal, of course, in supporting his side on, obviously. Was actually quite happy. Prince William, of course, an Aston Villa fan. And saw the tweet from the Prince of Wales about Ollie Watkins scoring that winner. And Aston Villa always knew that he was worthy of it and capable of it. As Gareth Southgate gets the handshakes, the UEFA officials delivering the commiserations. Gareth Southgate, of course, an unwanted record he has got tonight, becoming the only manager in Euros history to have lost successive finals. Only two managers before him had managed successive finals, but both of them had at least won one of them. And England and Gareth Southgate becoming the first to lose back-to-back finals. As now the champions are about to be shown. Luis de la Fuente leading the way, the third oldest manager to take charge of a finalist team at a European Championships. Absolute remarkable head coach. Luis de la Fuente at 63 has reached the pinnacle of European international football. And he gets that gold medal draped around his neck by the UEFA president, as does each of those Spanish players. At that moment, the sea of red that wasn't there inside the stadium, as England had packed it out almost exclusively. But the lights shine red above the stadium, as it will be shone into the skies throughout the night. Each one of those players will soak this in Despite Spain having done back-to-back European championships before, they went on a long drought without one between 1964 and 2008, a 44-year wait. Never take this for granted. Soak it in, sink it in, because you never know when the next one may come. Spain, each little player who's played their part in this tournament, receiving that gold medal. I just saw Ferran Torres, who scored the winning goal against Albania. Daniel Vivian there, who made a couple of appearances as well. Marco Correa, who's been a revelation at this tournament, criticised for his football and his efforts at Chelsea last season, delivering on the top level with a top team. Unai Simon making some big saves for Spain in the tournament. Rodri, of course, talismanic in his nature. And now their captain Alvaro Morata has a quick chat with Alexander Ceferin, gets his medal, and now sees the trophy in his sights, ready to lift it aloft. And Alexander Ceferin, alongside I think that's the Spanish FA president, will lay it off to Alvaro Morata, who will jump down from the plinth, holding the trophy, shaking it to his players as they ready. And Spain, once again, are European champions. Fourth time, a record-breaking fourth time. Spain are the champions of Europe for 2024. 15 goals, topping the scoring charts, topping every single record that they could break. They have done it, and creating headlines all the way through. A well-deserved win for La Roja, who are the champions of Europe for the fourth time. A record-breaking fourth. Incredible. Wonderful. And the celebrations, I'm sure, will go long into the night in Berlin and across every city in Spain. Will join in pride of their country, who are at the pinnacle once again. That's it. Euro 2024 comes to an end. 51 games, 117 goals. It's not a record-breaking tournament in terms of goal scoring, but 117 goals, and we've seen some absolute crackers as well. Personally, it's been an incredible tournament. Thank you for joining us in LFS for our first full international tournament, our first European Championships, and we've loved each and every second of it. We thank each and every one of you who's joined us, whether you've joined us even just for this final or all the way from the very start in that opening game between Germany and Scotland. We thank each and every one of you. Don't forget to like, subscribe and turn on post notifications. That is the end of Euro 2024. But we have seen some incredible games, some incredible teams, and we've seen Spain be crowned European champions. Let's just take a look back at Euro 2024 before we leave you. Thanks for your company once again. Good night. Very good evening and welcome to Euro 2024 live on LFS with me, Kevin Ferris. Over the next 30 days, join us as we go on a journey as 24 teams bid to become Europe's next champions. Wirtz, and it's in! Florian Wirtz, the master of Bundesliga football, gets the first goal of Euro 2024. Fabian Ruiz, what a goal! Oh, what a goal! Arda Güler, an absolute screamer. Where does that come from? The holders are behind inside a couple of seconds. You would not believe it. Oh, shot from distance. Oh, it's in. Wow. What a hit by Morten Hjulmand. My goodness me. Oh, it's not dealt with. It's in. That is a huge moment for Albania. They felt they were getting nothing out of this. They fought to the death, and they could have got their just rewards for it. Ivan Šranc gives Slovakia the lead. Not cleared away the overhead kick. It's in! Jude Bellingham has got possibly one of the biggest goals of the tournament for England. Harry Kane! It's in! They've completed the job. They've completed the comeback. Randall Colomowani popping up at the back post and giving France the early lead in Munich. Lamine Yamal to strike. Oh, what a goal! That is unbelievable from Lamine Yamal. Spins it around his man, and it's in. An own goal. Jules Koundé putting in the back of his own net, and Spain have turned this on its head. Oh, what a goal! That is a banger from Xavi Simons. Harry Kane sneaks it in the left corner. Beat the Dutch keeper, and England are back level. Here's Ollie Watkins. Oh! He snuck it in. Ollie Watkins, the striker that England need in the dying seconds on the blink of 90. Could see England into their second Euros final back to back.